الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters, welcome to our weekly class on explanation of Al-Muqaddimah Al-Ajurrimiyyah. And the explanation that we are currently going through is the one by Sheikh Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid rahimahullah, called Al-Tuhfah Al-Sanniyyah. So welcome back to everyone. Hope you are all well, inshallah. Sorry for the break. It was out of my hand. But alhamdulillah, we are back and inshallah ready to begin and continue from where we left off. Now, I believe today we are starting from Nawasikhul Mubtada'i wal Khabari. Nawasikhul Mubtada'i wal Khabari. Inshallah, let me share the screen with you. Now, there we are. Hopefully you can see the screen, inshallah. طيب. Okay, so let's read what the Mu'allif rahimahullah says first. Ibn Ājurrumiyyah, he says, قال باب العوامل الداخلة على المبتدأ والخبر. This is the chapter of those things that enter upon mubtada and khabar and then act upon them. وهي ثلاثة أشياء. And this is khata, because أشياء is ممنوع من الصرف. وهي ثلاثة أشياء, and they are three things. The عوامل الداخلة على المبتدأ والخبر are three. Number one, كان وأخواتها. Number two, وإن وأخواتها. Number three, وظننت وأخواتها. So these are called nawasikh. So what's the meaning of nawasikh? Nawasikh, the word nawasikh is the jam of nasikh, and it is from the fi'l nasakha. Nasakha means yani azala or adhaba. Yani to remove. So nasikh means yani muzil, because it's ismul fa'il. Muzil. Nasikh muzil, yani removing something. So why are nawasikh, why are these words, why are they called nawasikh? Yes, why? Because they enter upon mubtada and khabar and they remove the hukm of al-ibtida. Nawasikh, كان وأخواتها, إن وأخواتها, ظن وأخواتها. They enter upon al-mubtada wal-khabar and they remove or they erase the hukm of al-ibtida. Hukm of al-ibtida. الابتداء. What's al-hukm al-ibtida? Hukm al-ibtida, as we discussed in our last lesson, it means that the mubtada is marfu bil ibtida and the khabar is marfu bil mubtada. So if, for example, if I say Zaydun qa'imun, Zayd is the mubtada and it is marfu'un bil ibtida. We've discussed this before. Why is Zayd marfu? It is marfu bil ibtida. The fact that it is a mubtada. The fact that it is at the beginning of a sentence. That is what makes Zayd marfu. So Zayd is mubtada and it's marfu bil ibtida. Qa'im is the khabar. And the khabar is marfu' bil mubtada because of the mubtada, and here is Zayd. So qa'im is marfu' because of Zayd, and Zayd is marfu' because of an ibtida. Now, these nawasikh, they come, they enter upon this jumla, and they remove this hukam, and they give a new hukam, a new ruling. So for example, we say inna Zaydan qa'imun. So inna now has entered. So now the hukam al-if ibtida, it has been erased. It's gone. Because Zayd now no longer is marfu' bil ibtida. And the qa'im is no longer marfu' because of Zayd. Now we have a new hukam. Because now we have inna, which has come and is acting upon both Zayd and acting upon both Zayd and qa'im. So now Zayd, which was initially the mubtada, now it has become mansoob bi inna. And qa'im, which was the khabar, yes, and it was marfu' because of Zayd. Now it is not marfu' because of Zayd. Yes, it is still marfu', like here. But is it marfu' now because of Zayd? No, it's marfu' because of inna. Because now Zayd is ismu inna and qa'im is khabar inna. So yeah, that's the linguistic meaning, yes? And that's why a lot of scholars, they'll use this example a lot. They'll say nasakha الشمس الظل. The shams, when it comes, it removes the shade. And in the light of the shams removes الظل, shade. يعني تزيل وتذهب. طيب. So inshallah, that is clear. And now we can inshallah begin. No. Okay. Reading Sifat Salat al-Nabi, it says Qala lil Musi'i Salatahu. My question is here, would the word Salatahu be mansub because the word Musi is Ismul Fa'il? Yes, true. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Adam, you're right. Musi here is Ismu Fa'il, and Ismu Fa'il ya'malu amala fi'lihi. Ismu Fa'il ya'malu amala fi'lihi bishurut. Yes, and here that is the case. Salah it is مفعول of مسيء. نعم. Okay. طيب. So let's see what the Sharih rahimahullah had to say. وأقول قد عرفت أن المبتدأ والخبر مرفوعان. You know the مبتدأ خبر مرفوع. واعلم أنه قد يدخل عليهما أحد العوامل اللفظية فيغير إعرابهما. And know that one of the عوامل اللفظية, عوامل لفظية, عامل is a word that enters لفظية, يعني it's there, it's written, you can see it, you can say it and see it. It's a لفظ, it's a لفظ موجود. So it's a word that enters upon مبتدأ and خبر. Yes. فيغير إعرابهما, and it changes the إعراب of both مبتدأ and خبر. وهذه العوامل التي تدخل عليهما فتغير إعرابهما. And these عوامل that enter upon عليهما مبتدأ and خبر and change their إعراب بعد تتبع كلام العرب الموثوق به على ثلاثة أقسام. So look here, you want to basically continue from here to here. That's just something in the middle. I'll explain what it is. Yes. So وهذه العوامل التي تدخل عليهما فتغير إعرابهما. So these عوامل which enter upon مبتدأ خبر and change their إعراب على ثلاثة أقسام. They are of three types. بعد تتبع كلام العرب الموثوق به. How do we know that these عوامل which enter upon مبتدأ خبر and change their إعراب, how do we know they are three? There are three different types. بعد تتبع كلام العرب الموثوق به. This came to that conclusion after we studied and scrutinized and researched the kalam of the Arab. Any kalam of the Arab? No. Kalam of the Arab, al-mawthuq bihi. Kalam of the Arab that is reliable. Not any old kalam of the Arab, yes? طيب. القسم الأول. Very easy stuff, yes? Something which we done before many times. القسم الأول يرفع المبتدأ وينصب الخبر. The first قسم is something that يرفع المبتدأ وينصب الخبر. وذلك كان وأخواته. That's كان وأخواتها. وهذا القسم كله أفعال. And this قسم, all of them are أفعال. نحو كان الجو صافيا. كان الجو صافيا. For example, the weather was clear. Skies were clear, the weather was clear. والقسم الثاني ينصب المبتدأ ويرفع الخبر. القسم الثاني ينصب المبتدأ ويرفع الخبر. It's the opposite. عكس الأول. وذلك إن وأخواتها. And that is إن وأخواتها. هذا القسم كله أحرف. And this قسم, all of them are أحرف. There's no فعل here. All of them أحرف. نحو إن الله عزيز حكيم. إن الله عزيز حكيم. الجو اسم كان صافيا خبر كان. الله لفظ الجلالة اسم إن عزيز حكيم عزيز خبر نعم خبر إن. نعم. يعني حكيم صفة. طيب. والقسم الثالث ينسب المبتدا والخبر جميعا. مبتدا خبر both المنسوب. وذلك ظننت وأخواتها. ظن وأخواتها. وهذا القسم كله أفعال. These also all of them are أفعال. نحو ظننت الصديق أخا. ظننت الصديق أخا. نعم. So نعم. Wait just a second. Okay. وتسمى هذه العوامل النواسخ, and these عوامل are called نواسخ. Why? لأنها نسخت حكم المبتدأ والخبر, because they نسخت, they remove, they abrogate and remove and erase the حكم of المبتدأ والخبر. You know what that is? I've explained it. Yes. نسخت يعني أي غيرته, يعني نسخت حكم يعني غيرت الحكم, changed it. وجددت لهما حكما آخر غير حكمها الأول. So it changed the hukam and gave it a new, and gave lahuma, gave mubtada and khabar a new hukam. A hukam which is not their first hukam. Okay. طيب. Do we have any, is that all clear? Do we have any questions, anything before we move on to the next part? No? طيب. So we're going to start with the qism al-awwal, كان أو أخواتها. قال ابن آجروم رحمه الله says فأما كان وأخواته, أسوأ كان وأخواته فإنها ترفع الاسم وتنصب الخبر. واضح جدا. وهي, now is going to tell you about what they are. كان and its sisters. كان وأمسى وأصبح وأضحى وظل وبات وصار وليس وما زال وما انفك وما فتي وما برح وما دام وما تصرف منها. وما تصرف منها. What does that mean? وما تصرف منها. يعني you see that all of the كان وأخواته is mentioned. Of course, first of all, they're all أفعال. And you can see he's mentioned all of them in ماضي. Yes? But no, it can be ماضي, it can be مضارع. نعم, it can be مصدر, it can be فعل أمر. يعني it can be a number of things. Yes? Okay, not just ماضي, even the مضارع, the مصدر, the فعل الأمر, the اسم الفاعل. Yes? So for example, with كان, نحو كان يكون كن. كان في الماضي, يكون في المضارع, كن في الأمر. You can say كون. كون is مصدر. You can say كائن, which is اسم فاعل. نعم. So نعم, هذا هو. Okay, straightforward. Okay, وأصبح ويصبح وأصبح. تقول كان زيد قائما. So for example, you say كان زيد قائم, زيد was standing. وليس عمرو شاخصا وما أشبه ذلك. وليس عمرو شاخصا يعني زي يعني عمرو is not here, يعني is not present. يعني at the moment he's not present, he hasn't arrived, or you know, the likes. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so when we look at كان زيد قائما, who would like to do the i'rab of that? كان زيد قائما. كان زيد قائما. Okay, Ilyas, just a second. Okay, go ahead.
كان فعل ناقص
فعل ماض ناقص. Yes.
فعل ماض ناقص مبني على الفتح.
So you, okay, yeah, so here you can say, for example, يرفع الاسم
وينصب ينصب الخبر.
Yep, let's do it like this for now so we get to know it properly. Yes. You said مبني على الفتح. Okay, good. Okay, زيد.
زيد اسم كان مرفوع علامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. قائما خبر كان منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره.
نعم أحسنت. زيد اسم كان مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. قائما خبر كان منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. واضح جدا. Nice and easy. And the i'rab of course of ليس عمرو شاخصا is the same. Just the same i'rab. Now, so kana, for example, is called naqis. Why is it called naqis? It's called naqis. So when you have a fi'l, the fi'l, let's look at the fi'l, yes, a fi'l. You can have naqis and you can have tam. Naqis is called naqis because it needs two things to complete its meaning. It needs ism and khabar. Whereas fi'l tam, it only needs one thing, and that is a fa'il. So fi'l naqis, it needs two things to complete its meaning. It needs an ism and a khabar. Fi'l tam, it only needs one thing, it needs a fa'il, and the meaning is complete. And naqis obviously is what we are looking at now. Khabar, kana wa akhawatuha, and also kada wa akhawatuha. Kada wa akhawatuha, this we're not studying in this book. Next book, inshallah. Okay. And tam, tam is what it needs a fa'il. Tam needs a fa'il. And tam, as you know, can be lazim, and can be muta'addin. And lazim, as you know, what is lazim? It needs only a fa'il, it doesn't need a maf'ul. Muta'addin needs both a fa'il and a maf'ul. But sometimes the muta'addi, it needs, let me go down here. Let's go to muta'addi here. Sometimes muta'addi only needs maf'ulun wahid, only one maf'ul. Yes? For example, if I say darabtu Zaydan, khalas, this is enough. I hit Zayd. Zayd is a maf'ul. That's what it needs. Sometimes it needs two maf'uls. Sometimes it needs three maf'uls. Yes? يعني مفعولين. Here, ثلاثة مفاعيل. يعني مفعولين. Here, you have to, one thing you have to understand, even this is of two types. أصله مبتدأ وخبر. ليس أصله مبتدأ وخبر. يعني And this one here, this is the dhanna wa akhawatuha. What do we mean by that? What we mean by that is, initially, these two words are mubtada and khabar. For example, Zaydun qa'imun. Mubtada and khabar. And initially, they are mubtada and khabar. Then, for example, I can say dhanantu Zaydan qa'iman. You see, two maf'uls. I thought Zayd was standing. Or it can be laysa aslu mubtada khabar. For example, if I say a'ataytu Zaydan dirhaman, I gave Zayd a dirham. You see, this is a maf'ul al-awwal, maf'ul al-thani. A'ata, for the fi'l a'ata, Zayd is maf'ul awwal, dirham is maf'ul thani. Now, can we say that Zayd and dirham initially were mubtada and khabar? You cannot. It doesn't make sense. Can I say Zaydun dirhamun? Zayd is a dirham. Could Zayd and dirhaman, could they have initially been Zaydun dirhamun? Dirhamun mubtada and khabar? No. So the point is, al-muta'addi fil muta'addi can be muta'addi ila maf'ulin wahid. For example, darabtu Zaydan. Al-muta'addi can be muta'addi ila maf'ulain. And these maf'ulain, either the asl of these two maf'uls was either mubtada and khabar, the example I've given here, and that is going to be dhanna wa akhawatuha, or these two maf'uls, their asl is not mubtada khabar. It's one of the two scenarios. And then you have muta'addi ila thalathati mafa'il. For example, verbs af'al like a'lama, ara, anba'a, nabba'a, haddatha, khabbara, akhbara. Sure, this is something we can look at later when we look at the mansubat. Now we are looking at the marfu'at. Yes? So fi'l like a'lama and ara. Yes, and anba'a and nabba'a and haddatha and akhbara and khabbara. They are muta'addi ila thalathati mafa'il. Okay. طيب, let's see what the Sharih has to say. وأقول القسم الأول من نواسخ المبتدأ الخبري كان وأخواته. القسم الأول from نواسخ المبتدأ الخبري كان وأخواته أي نظائرها في العمل. What does أخواتها mean? نظائرها في العمل. Those that have the same عمل. وهذا القسم يدخل المبتدأ فيزيل رفعه الأول ويحدث له رفعا جديدا. So this qism, the entry upon the mubtada, removes its first raf'. and it brings about a new raf for it. وَيُسَمَّ الْمُبْتَدَأُ اسْمَهُ. So now the mubtada is called its ism. وَيَدْخُلُ الْخَبَرِ فَيَنْسِبُهُ. And it enters upon the khabar and makes a mansoob. وَيُسَمَّ خَبَرَهُ. And it's called its khabar. وَهَذَا الْقِسْمُ 13 فِعْلًا. And this qism is 13 fi'l, 13 verbs. Let's look at the first one. الأول كان. First one is كان. وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم بالخبر في الماضي. كان, what does it show you? It shows you that ism is described with the khabar in the past tense. So for example, if I say كان زيد قائما. كان زيد قائما, meaning in the madi, in the past, Zayd was standing. So the ism, which is Zayd, is being described with the khabar, which is qiyam, in the madi. Yes? But there can be one of two scenarios here. Imma ma'al inqita'. Inqita' means to cut off, meaning this person or this thing had this description in the past, but then munqati is stopped. For example, Nahwu kana Muhammadun mujtahidan. And Muhammad was mujtahid, he was hardworking. But khalas, then he stopped being hardworking. Okay? Yeah. For example, I say kana Zaydun na'iman. Zayd was sleeping. Khalas, now he's awake. Okay? Wa imma mal istimrar, or it continues, yani from the past till now. It's ongoing. There's no inqita'. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wa kana rabbuka qadira. And your Lord is ever all able. Yani since yani azal, since ever until ever. Yes? A'udhu billah, you cannot say here A'udhu billah, Allah had qudra before, now he doesn't have qudra. A'udhu billah min dhalik. Yes? This is something that has always been with Allah, and it will continue till now, and it will continue forever. Something that continues. Okay? But for example, if I say to you, sometimes I can say to you, kana Zaydun qa'iman. Kana Zaydun qa'iman. This can mean maybe Zayd was sitting and now he's he was standing and now he's sitting. Or Zayd could even until now be standing. Yeah, so it depends on the context. It depends on the context. Yes, so either the ism is described with the khabar, and always something continues. Yes, or it happened in the past and then it stopped. Okay. نعم. وثاني أمسى. وثاني أمسى وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم بالخبر في المساء. Now what does Amsa show? Amsa shows that the ism is described with the khabar in the evening. This is the difference between kana and Amsa, for example. Kana doesn't give you a time, like a specific time. It's general. Yes? So you don't know, was it morning, afternoon, was it evening, was it at night? Yes? But when you say Amsa, it means it was in the evening. For example, نحو أمسى الجو بارداً. Yani, the jaw, the weather was cold in the evening. Okay? The weather was cold in the evening. والثالث أصبح. والثالث أصبح. أصبح is the opposite to أمسى. وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم بالخبر في الصباح. It shows you that the ism describes the khabar in the morning. نحو أصبح الجو مكفهرا. The jaw, the weather in the morning was مكفهرا, يعني dim, gloomy, overcast, clouded. Yes. ورابع أضحى. The fourth is أضحى. وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم بالخبر في الضحى. And it shows you the ism is described the khabar at the time of ad-duha. What's the time of duha? Time of duha is after sunrise until just before dhuhr, the dhuhr prayer. The forenoon. Yes, noon obviously is the middle of the day, then afternoon, forenoon, and before noon, the time after sunrise until dhuhr. That's called ad-duha. So that means, for example, so نحو أضحى الطالب نشيطا. That the talib was active at the time of dhuha, which is between sunrise and dhuhr. Okay. And by the way, why are we not doing the i'rab? Because all the i'rabs are the same. I mean, the i'rabs are all the same as this one. As you can see. والخامس ظل وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم بالخبر في جميع النهار طول النهار. ظل, it shows you that the ism is described with the khabar throughout the day. Throughout the day, from sunrise till sunset. From sunrise to sunset. نحو ظل وجهه مسودا. That his face was dark throughout the day. ظل وجهه مسودا. Okay, let's do the i'rab of this. ظل وجهه مسودا. ظل وجهه مسودا. نعم. Okay, Elias, if you have a go.
ظل ظل
هلا هي فعل ماض yeah same thing.
فعل ماض ناقص يرفع الاسم وينصب الخبر مبني على الفتح.
Yes, good. So ظل فعل ماض ناقص يرفع الاسم وينصب الخبر وهو مبني على الفتح. نعم. وجه
اسم ظل
نعم.
اسم ظل مرفوع علامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره وهو مضاف.
نعم وهو مضاف. نعم.
والهاء ضمير متصل مبني على الضم في محل جر مضاف إليه.
نعم أحسنت. Yes, والهاء as you know ضمير متصل مبني على الضم في محل جر مضاف إليه. نعم. مسودة
خبر ظل منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره.
نعم. مسودا خبر ظل منصوب على نصبه فتحة إلى آخره. طيب أحسنت. Okay, good. Let's continue. والسادس بات وهو يفيد اتصاف الاسم الخبري في وقت البيات وهو الليل. Bata, it shows you that the ism is described with the khabar at the time of bayat. What's the time of bayat? Al-layl, the time during the night. نحو بات محمد مسرورا. Yani, Muhammad spent the night happy. Okay? And that's why in Hajj they call Muzdalifa Mabit. Mabit. They say Mabit bil Muzdalifa. Yani you have to spend the night at Muzdalifa. Okay, والسابع صار وهو يفيد تحول الاسم من حالته إلى الحالة التي يدل عليها الخبر. صار, it shows you that the ism is changing from its state to a state which the khabar indicates. Okay? For example, صار الطين إبريقا. So, yani sara means to become, to change. So it changes from one state, the ism changes from one state to another state. What state does it change into? It changes into the state of the khabar. Whatever the khabar is, it changes into the khabar. For example, sara tinu ibriqa. So teen is clay, ibriq is like a jug or some kind of container, yes? So now teen is the ism. Teen at the beginning of teen is just clay. Now its state changes to to the khabar. What is the khabar? Ibriq. It becomes an ibriq. So teen, clay, became or was changed into ibriq. Easy. والثامن ليس وهو يفيد نفي الخبر عن الاسم في وقت الحال. So laysa, it shows you what? The khabar is negated from the ism fi waqt al-hal, at the time of speaking now. We're not talking, not madi, not in the past, not in the future. Yes, now. Nahu, for example, laysa Muhammadun fahiman. Muhammad doesn't understand. That's what it means. Muhammad doesn't understand now. Now Muhammad doesn't understand. Okay, so we've negated faham, understanding, from Muhammad now, at the time now, present time. Okay, So if you use laysa like this unrestrictedly, without any restrictions, then it means the present moment, negation in the present moment. If you wanted to mean something in the past or the future, then you've got to use a word to indicate that. Yes. So for example, here I can say, if I say laysa Zaydun qa'iman, what does that mean? That means Zayd is not standing now. I can say laysa Zaydun qa'iman ghadan. So Zayd will not stand tomorrow. Laysa Zaydun qa'iman amsi. Ams. Zayd wasn't standing yesterday. But if you use it without anything, without these words, then it means al-an. Okay. Okay, now we're going to look at 4 words together. So now this way we have to pay a bit of attention, okay? And they're easy anyway. It's not a big thing. Okay, but let's look at them. Okay, so it says وَالتَّاسِعُ وَالْعَاشِرُ وَالْحَادِيَ عَشَرَ وَالثَّانِيَ عَشَرَ. 9, 10, 11, and 12. 9, 10, 11, and 12. What are they? The 4 words. مَا زَالَ وَمَنْ فَكَّ وَمَا فَتِيَ وَمَا بَرِيحَ. All of them, they mean exactly the same thing. What do they mean, all of them? All of them, they mean al-istimrar, continuation. Continuation. Al-istimrar. Al-istimrar. Istamirra, yastamirru, istimrar. Continuation. That something is ongoing and continuing. Okay. So they all mean the same thing. And that's why it says here, look, وَهَذِهِ الْأَرْبَعَةُ وَهَذِهِ الْأَرْبَعَةُ. These 4 تَدُلُّ عَلَى مُلَازَمَةِ الْخَبَرِ لِلْإِسْمِ. All 4, they show that the khabar is mulazim of ism, yani it is stuck with the ism. Mulazim. Mulazim means like you to accompany someone or to always be with someone or something, yes? Okay, so these 4, they show that the khabar is always stuck with the ism, that the ism is always described with this khabar. Yani it's just continuation. But what does that mean? Yani until when? Yani the khabar is stuck with the ism is described as khabar. Yeah, until when? Is it until Yawm al-Qiyamah? Is it until next year? Is it until tomorrow? Is it until what? Yeah, that's why he says hasaba ma yaqtadihi al-halu, in accordance with the situation, the context. Okay, and this mulazama of the khabar for the ism, the mulazama of the khabar for the ism it continues until when? That this depends on the situation and the context. Okay? But one thing you have to understand is something very important. Is that these four, yes, ma zala man fakka ma fatiya ma bariha, they cannot have this amal of making it ism. They cannot have this amal, yes, having making mubtada marfu and it becoming its ism, and making a khabar mansoob and then it becoming its khabar, yes. That can't happen unless these four, zala and infakka and fatiya and bariha, are preceded either by nafi, negation, like you can see here, ma, or by nahi, prohibition, or dua. So if these four verbs, zala, infakka, fatiya, bariha, are preceded by either nafi, like in the four examples here, or by nahi, or by dua, then they can have this. Then they can have the amal of kana. Then they can be from the akhawat kana. Otherwise, no. Okay. So, for example, we can say, if I say ma zala Zaydun qa'iman. We will look at the i'rab in a minute. Okay, let's look at the meaning first. Ma zala Zaydun qa'iman. Yes. Ma zala. Yeah. Ma zala Zaydun qa'iman. I can say la yazalu. I could use the mudari'. La yazalu Zaydun qa'iman. Same meaning, that the Zayd continues to be standing. Yes. Ma zala Zaydun qa'iman, la yazalu Zaydun qa'iman. Okay. I can also say fi'l al-amr. I can say for example, I can say la. Oh, sorry. I can say Zaydun la tazal qa'iman. You see, this is nahi. La, this is nahi. Yani this here means Zayd, continue standing. Zayd, continue standing. Okay. Anyway, the point here is ma zala, la yazalu, la tazal. All this is, whether it's madi, mudari, amr, it means basically to continue. It means to continue. Okay. As you can see, as you can see from the word, and from what's apparent, that this is nafi. Of course, because it's preceded by, look at the words it's preceded by. ma, la. All these are for any negation. So what's apparent is that you are negating something, yes? That's what's apparent from the wording, that you are negating something. But the meaning, no, the meaning is the opposite. Meaning is that you are actually affirming something. So from the wording, it looks like you are negating, but its meaning is muthbat. Yes? From the word, it shows it is manfi, but from the meaning, it is muthbat. Yes? So for example, look, if I say, Ya Zaydu, Ya Zaydu, La tazal ذاكر الموت. Ya Zayd, oh Zayd, La tazal ذاكر الموت. From what's apparent, this is nahi. It's like you're forbidding him from something. That's what's apparent. It's manfi. You negate. You're forbidding him from something. Yes, this because this la is for nahi, not nafi. Nahi. Here, this ma is for nafi. This la is for nafi. This la is for nahi. This la is for nahi. Yes, and that's why it's majzoom. Anyway, so what's apparent is you are. What are you doing? Like you are forbidding him from something, but the meaning is what? The meaning is actually you are commanding him to do something. What are you commanding him to do here? You're saying, Ya Zayd, continue remembering death. Nah? So the point is, from the wording is manfi, but the meaning is muthbat. And as I said, these can only work if they are they can only have the amal of kana if they are preceded by the nafi, nahi, or dua. Yes, what do you mean by dua? For example, if I say, La yazal Allahu, La yazal Allahu muhsinan ilayka. You see, this is dua. Yani may Allah continue to be good to you. May Allah continue to be good to you. Allahu lafdul jalala. Yes, this is the ism, and muhsinan is the khabar. And also here, look, same thing. Yes, ism, khabar, ism, khabar. Khabar, where is the ism here? Anta. La tazal anta qa'iman. La tazal anta qa'iman. Same here. La tazal dhakir al-maut. This is the khabar. Where is the ism? Same thing here. Anta. La tazal anta dhakir al-maut. La tazal anta dhakir al-maut. And say to infakka. So I can say, for example, man fakka zaydun qa'iman. La yanfakku zaydun qa'iman. Ya Zaydu, la tanfakka qa'iman. O Zayd, continue standing. Okay. All right. So is that clear or what? Well, let's go back to the book. All right. Nahu, let's look at two examples. He gives two examples. We'll do i'rab of one of the examples. Nahu ma zala Ibrahimu munkira. Ibrahim continues to rebuke. وَنَحْوُ, you see, مَا زَالَ. وَنَحْوُ مَا بَرِهَ عَلِيٌّ صَدِيقًا مُخْلِصًا. مَا بَرِهَ عَلِيٌّ صَدِيقًا مُخْلِصًا. Yani Ali continues to be a sincere, good, sincere friend. Okay? So let's take this. We do this. This is the same. So مَا زَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ مُنْكِرًا. مَا زَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ munkira. So I'll do this for you because it's maybe something. So ma is easy. What is it? Harfu nafyin. We've done it before. Harfu nafyin. Mabniyun ala sukun. Of course. Yeah. Yes or no? Yep. Harfu nafyin mabniyun ala sukuni. لا محل له من الإعراب ولا أعمل. Zala, same as before. What is it? فعل ماض ناقص يرفع الاسم وينسب الخبر وهو مبني على الفتح. And then Ibrahim munkar is easy. Ibrahim ismu zala. اسمه زالة مرفوع ولم رفع ضمن الآخره منكرا خبر زالة منصوب ولم نصب الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. And the same إعراب goes for ما برها علي صديقا مخلصا. Same thing. ما حرف نفي برها فعل ماض ناقص علي اسم برها صديقا خبر برها مخلصا is the sifa for Sadiq. All right. Last thing we're going to look at today is just this bit now here. And then we'll finish for today. We'll continue from here, inshallah, next week. So what's the last one? وَالثَّالِثَ عَشَرَ, the 13th and the last one, the 13th one. مَا دَامَ. مَا دَامَ. وهو يفيد ملازمة الخبر للاسم أيضا. It has the same meaning as the ones as the four before. Madama also shows you that the khabar is mulazim for the ism. The khabar, that the ism is continuously described with the khabar. But why is mentioned it separately? Because you see that this ma zala man fakka ma fati ma bari, this ma is different to this ma. There's a difference, and that's what we're going to explain now. Okay. Nahwu, for example, you say La a'dhilu khalidan ma dumtu hayya. So in English that means La a'dhilu khalidan. I will not blame, I will not rebuke Khalid ma dumtu hayya, as long as I am alive. As long as I'm living, I am not going to blame and rebuke and criticize Khalid. Okay. Now let's look at the i'rab of that, and then it will become clear how the ma, this ma is different than that ma, and then inshallah we're going to finish with that. La a'dilu. The first part is very clear. La a'dilu Khalidan ma dumtu hayyan. Now the i'rab of this obviously is very, very easy. Yes, I don't even need to really go over it, but I'll just quickly go over it. La harfu nafyin mabni ala sukun la mahalla lahu min al-i'rabi wala amal. A'dilu fi'lun mudari'un marfu'un لخلوه من الناصب والجازم وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره وفاعله ضمير مستتر وجوبا تقديره أنا، يعني أعدل أنا. خالدا مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة وضع الآخر. This is like a normal sentence. Okay, so what we consider this ما دمت حيا. Yeah, so this ma now here, it's not nafi. You have ma which is for nafi, you have ma which is masdariyah, and we've done that before. Okay, and you have ma which is dharfiyah masdariyah, and this is what this ma is. Okay, what does it mean dharfiyah masdariyah? It's wadih. Masdariyah means that ma with the fi'l that comes after it is going to be changed into the masdar of that fi'l. Okay, ma, and what comes, and the fi'l that comes after ma, which is here this fi'l, these two together are going to be changed into the masdar of this fi'l. That's masdariyah. What does dharfiyah means? Dharfiyah means that it is indicative of time, waqt. So we need a word, we need to introduce a word. When we do ta'wil of this jumlah, and we change these two into a masdar, we also need to introduce here a word which shows time. Okay, because obviously it's time. Look what it says. I'm not going to blame him, Khalid, as long as I am alive. So here there is time. We're talking about time, as long as you are alive. Okay, so the i'rab here is very easy. So ma is dharfiyya masdariyya. Khalas. Now dumtu, so you have dama, fi'lun madin naqisun, same thing. يرفع الاسم يرفع الاسم وينصب الخبر وهو مبني. Why is it مبني? You know this. وهو مبني على السكون لاتصاله بضمير رفع متحرك. And you've done that before, yes? Okay. And what's التاء? ضمير متصل مبني على الضم. Yes, مبني على الضم في محل رفع Ismu dama. Yeah, because here this is the ism of dama, and this here is the khabar of dama. Yes. Ma dumtu hayya. This ta is the ism of dama, and hayya is the khabar of dama. So you'd say atta damirun muttasilun mabina dam fi mahalli raf'in ismu dama, and hayya, of course, is khabaru dama. And then you know the i'rab of that, the next one. Yes, khabaru dama mansubun wa alamat nasbihi al-fathatu al-zahiratu ala akhirih. Okay, so now let's put that here. Ma dumtu hayyan. Then at the end you say what? You say wa ma this ma wa ma dakhalat alayhi. Remember, this dumtu is from the fi'l dama. Dama yadumu, and the masdar is dawman. And you have the word da'im, always. So we have to change this into a masdar. Yes. So you say ma wa ma dakhalat alayhi. Ma, this is the ma here. Wa ma dakhalat alayhi, and that which is after it. Yes. Ma, and that which it enters upon, which is this. Fi ta'wili masdar. Fi ta'wili masdar. Remember what we said before. We said, how do you do ta'wil of the masdar? You look at the fa'il, you find the masdar, which is dawm. Remember, with many examples. You find the masdar, which is dawm, and then you make the masdar mudaf to its fa'il. Here obviously it's not going to be fa'il, it's the ism. So here you would take the masdar dawm and make it mudaf to the ism, and it would become what? It would become dawami. Yes, it will become dawami. Yes. Is that clear? It's not dawaman, it's dawaman, sorry, here. Dawaman, yes. So here you've taken dawam and you've made it any mudaf. What's this ya? This ya is this ta. Same thing. Ya is the ta. Okay, anyway. So ma wa ma dakhalat alayhi fi ta'wili masdarin. Fi ta'wili masdarin. And what's the ta'wil of it then? Ta'wiluhu muddata dawami hayyan. Yeah, that's the ta'wil. Okay. Remember, I told you that we need to introduce a word which shows time. That's that, mudda. Muddata. It's always like this. So whenever you have, always remember this. Whenever you have a ma, which is dharfiyya masdariyya, you have to do two things. You have to introduce a word which indicates time, and that is always going to be this word. Muddata. And then mastariyah, you take the ma, what comes out of the ma, and you change into mastar and you put it there. That's it. So now the complete sentence would be what? La a'dilu khalidan muddata dawami hayyan. I will not rebuke Khalid muddata dawami, as long as I am alive. As long as I am alive. Muddata. Why is it muddata with the fatha? Because dharf. Dharfu zaman. Talking about time. Muddata dawami hayyan. And why is it dawami with the ya? Because here is ta. Here is dumtu. Here is dawami. Okay, it's a bit, but to be fair, the second part where you change it to a masdar and then you make it mudaf to its fa'il or to the ism. In this case, mudaf to its ism, which is a ta. We did many examples. That should be easy anyway. The only real new thing here is the mudda. That's the only new thing. Yeah. So inshallah, as I said, next week we'll continue. So we've covered the 13 words, and there is some still more kalam on kana wa akhawatuha. Hopefully, inshallah, next week we can finish this and move on as well, inshallah. Okay, sorry, I didn't even realize the chat. You're breaking up. Allah al-Mustan. Was it clear near the end, or was it still breaking up? Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah, that's good then. Okay, khair, inshallah. So we're going to stop here then. And inshallah we'll continue next week bi'idhnillahi jalla wa ala. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.